Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MySpace podcast. I'm your host, Miley, and today I'll be reviewing the book Prodigy of Revenge by Berlyn Hayes. This is book number 2 of the Heirs of Secret series. And guys, I knew this was a series, and yet I did not go and check if the series was finished. And I really regret that, but also I like the books. So it's not finished. I think it's going to be a 5-book series, and it's only on the 3rd one, which is great. And I don't know why I've gotten myself into this again, because 4th Wing, just like it. But also 4th Wing, you have to wait another year for the next book to come out. I actually don't know when this second book, when the 4th one, I don't know when the 4th one of this series is coming out. I don't know when 4th Wing, I don't know anymore. But I've gotten myself into this again. What have I done? Because I'll have to go find another one because this series ain't gonna be finished. I love myself. I'm gonna need to make a list of books that I haven't finished yet. Not finished. The series ain't done yet. Also, the dog is in my room. So if you hear stuff in the background, it's probably her. Yeah, and also, look at what I got. It's a duck, and it quacks. My friend got it for me. I'm in love with it. One of my other friends is in love with it too. Love it so much. So yes, I bring this with me to stuff. Well, the places, and my friend just goes crazy with it. She's like, I'm gonna have to tell her that that I put the duck in the video, and she needs to watch this video just for it. Just for this one part, so she can see the duck. A lot of people, I just like the duck. Some people don't understand it. I love it. Just like hitting it over and over and over again. Keep it in my car most of the time. But as you can see, we're not in my car, so it's in my room. Anyways, let's get started because we have spent 2 minutes on just this intro. Yes, Frosty, let's get on. Rating. I give this book 9 out of 10. Part of me wants to give it less, part of me also doesn't want to give it less because I like the book. And it wasn't as bad as the first book with not telling me what things were going on, but it did it again. But not as bad. It's just things come up and it's not told until a little while later what it is or why it's come up, so you're just confused. The main character, she changed her name, and it was the most confusing thing. We started with Talia in the first book. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about this when we get to her, because, yeah. So I had to get used to the whole name change. When Casimir, he had some random eye-opening moments that just came out of nowhere half the time. But, they didn't come out of nowhere, but they came out of nowhere. And, I know it makes no sense, but it makes sense in my brain. In my brain, it makes sense. But all that was more in the beginning of the book, not more in the end. Well, also, they weren't around each other for most of the book. So, that was awesome. But it was still interesting. I liked the book, even though they were, gone and didn't talk, and it was just thoughts and feelings. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of action, and, nothing between the main characters. But it was still interesting, and I was really engaged. It was a lot about the main character and her trying to figure out who she is and stuff. So yeah, plot / storyline. So Natalia, she changes her name to Soralia. I'm gonna say Soralia because Natalia, Soralia. Fantasy names are my arch nemesis. My arch nemesis? Arch nemesis? That's how I feel. That's how I feel with fantasy names. So anyways, let's get to the plot and storyline, actually. But that does happen, like, right in the beginning of the book, so it's not, like, some random change in the middle. It's a random change in the beginning. So, get to the point. I have to get to the whole thing. Okay, Casimir is trying to teach her how to use her powers, but it doesn't go that well. She doesn't really learn how to use her powers, with him at least. Then there's him trying to fight his feelings, but also not trying to fight his feelings, and then but then he asks to fight his feelings, and then blah 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 blah, because he becomes the High King, and now things are going to change, because as the High King, because of this whole vow thing, he has to marry a pureblood of his own Varna, who is Kalia, which I know I said her name wrong in the first video, because there are two things that are so similar, and I also don't know how to say her name. It's like Kahalia. And anyways, and Cerelia has to go marry someone in her own Varna who is going to be Devery. Still don't trust him. Anyways, so Cass then sends her away to Muriel, to the Muriel city, Mentorial. Fantasy names. Anyways, she hates him for this because he's not fighting for her while she's fighting for him. He hates himself for doing it because he loves her and wants to be with her, but he can't be with her because of his kingdom, because he has to protect his kingdom. But we all know they're gonna find a way around that. Also, I hate when books are like this. Like, always find a reason not to be together. It's like the assistant of the villain books. That's what I thought of with this. I was like, don't be like them. Please, don't make me. But at least with this book, they weren't around each other. Because now, she's in the city, away from him, where she's being taught how to be the premier of Mentoral, who's basically the leader / mayor of the city. She's learning how to speak Crisiax, which is the Crisier language, and she's also being taught how to use her powers. So Devery's family's teaching her how to be the premier and how to use her. Devery's family is teaching her how to be the premier. Devery himself is teaching her how to use her powers, and Enze is teaching her the language, which he actually becomes pretty good at, like better than I would ever do. But also, these books span over months at a time, and it's like a constant thing, and she's not wearing her language thingy, mabobber. So and that's like the best way to learn a language, like go be in that language. Go surround yourself with it. So then she becomes the premier, and throughout all of this, because this takes up a big portion of the book, Casimir's trying to find the Harvester and any other information that he can get on the Red Herring, who is the person who killed his parents and the person who basically tried to kill Cerelia. Also, the Harvester is part of that group too. Supposedly, at least. But also is part of the group. He's part of the group. Also, Cass is dealing with his sister constantly telling him to go back and be with Cerelia because he loves her and needs her, and also Syl is in with this. It's a whole lot, and I love it so much. Anyways, part we're going to what I hate. Cerelia is getting closer to Devery throughout this, and I still don't trust him. I don't. But there's a chance he's not evil. And anyways, Casimir is not happy that Cerelia is getting close to Devery, which I'll say, like, dude, you put that on yourself. Then that's all in, like, one part of the book. Then, at the end, you get to the more action and fighting things, where things are actually, like, blah, 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 blah. That's what it feels like, but also not. Also, this does take up a good portion of the end. And then somebody almost dies, like, multiple times. We learn who somebody is, and I knew who it was gonna be. I knew it. And then I also ranted to this about... I I saw this before this came up. I told my friend that I knew who it was going to be, and then it came up and I told her. I was like, I knew it. This all happened in the span of like 2 minutes because I finished the book right after this. Like that comes up and then the book kind of ends. And then also, I don't particularly understand some of the timings in this book when I think about it now. And it's not about things that happen in the book, like presently, it's things that happened before both these books took place. So yeah, I don't really understand. Like the ritual part and stuff, I'm like, what? How does the timing work? I need more on that. So I don't really understand it. Anyways, let's go on to the next part because this is taking up like usually what's only like half of the video, which is hilarious. Also, this is going to be a longer video. Anyways, next up is Seralia. I'm gonna stop trying. So she's trying to be strong throughout this whole book, and like she's doing it. She is going, and it's very admirable. Like she's really, but like she needs the time to be able to be weak, but in the sense where she can talk about her emotions. She's also getting really strong with her powers. Like she's super powerful, but she still needs to work on it. Like it's not one of those things that comes like easy. Like when it happens, it becomes easier to work with and stuff, but she's not all powerful right then and there. Like she's still super powerful, but it takes so much energy when if she had the practice, it wouldn't have taken all that energy to do these things. So I like that because it's not all of a sudden she's all powerful and can just use her powers just like that. Like just can use powers. No, she can't. So I like that. It's different from other girls in books because usually, but she's also she's actually kind of good at fighting too. She knows how to use the bow and arrow. She knows how to use a knife. Gosh, I wish I could be her, but also I don't want that because that's a really crazy life, but also like be very eventful. I don't know what I want. Also, she loves to get herself into life-threatening situations, but it's not her fault half the time. People just want to kill her. Which honestly we saw in the first book, so it's not that much of a surprise. But she does some crazy things. I'm like, girl, you're crazy, but honestly, like, you have to do that because who else is going to figure it out? Nobody. And also, when she gets sent to Montreal, she tries really hard to forget about Cass, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, and it's hard for her because it's hard for both of them, honestly, because they both feel like the other's in love with somebody else. But they're not. And she's really angry at Cass for not fighting for them. Like, she's constantly trying to fight for him in the beginning, and then when they see each other again and, like, closer to the endish of the book. And then when they actually talk again and stuff later, getting closer to the end, Cass decides to be emotional and not listen, which I'll get into later. Not completely, but anyways, throughout this book, she's trying to figure out who she is and like what her family secret is. Like she's there's something going on with her family, something going on with everything. She's just trying to figure out all this. She doesn't know who she is. She wants to know who she is because like everyone in her family is dead. She doesn't have anyone that's her family. And she knows her parents figured out who the villain was, who the red herring is. But then they were killed. Oh my gosh, I should have known who I should have known. Gosh darn it. Like, it was right there. And I didn't notice. I was so caught up in, I thought I should have. Anyways, she went through a lot in this book. Going to probably continue to go through a lot more in the next book. Now, to her name change. So, it randomly comes up in, like, this is the second chapter, so the first POV with her, because it's changed the POV again. So she's the second, and she's like, I'm Cersei Chalamet. I think that's her last name. I could be wrong. But yeah. Anyways, I'm like, who's Cersei? When did we get Cersei here, guys? I think that's her name too. I'm like, I think that's her name. I think that's her last name. Not completely sure. It's really hard to go back and find these things. But anyways, Cersei was the name she was given by her biological parents, which we realized a little while later. I'm like, I needed that right when you told me Cersei. I didn't know who we were talking about. I was like, who's Cersei? What happened? Name change? What? And this all happened in the second chapter. She doesn't feel like Natalia or Cersei anymore. Like, she's not immortal, and didn't grow up as Cersei or as Cressier. So Cass suggests Cerealia. So yay, like smash them together. And now I have to go and remember a whole different name. Yeah. Sorry, I saw Devry's name. So she starts to get closer to Devry. That's a change. I don't trust him. I don't. But they kissed a couple times. How dare she kiss another man? But honestly, like, Cass, like, threw her away. Like, he was like, bye. Anyways, to Cass now. Look at that nice... What? Oh my! I have been forgetting words lately. Like, there's nice segue into Cass. Thank y'all very much. This man needs better communication skills. He gets all emotional, and he could have been with like, if he would have taken a breath and listened to what she had to say, they wouldn't have been in one of the situations they got into, which honestly isn't different from any of the other situations in the book, but it would have helped them both out. And some of the ending would not have had happened the way it happened. But he doesn't listen to her. And he's like, he feels rejected. I'm like, man, okay. Fine. Anyways, he throws Cerealia out and engages her with Devry. He doesn't tell her why. Like, communication skills here, right? He tries not to tell her anything. Instead bottles it up inside. And honestly, that's what he's done like his whole life, because of something that happened when he was a child. And she does get him to open up some more, but then he literally throws her out, basically. So then he doesn't have anybody to open up to. He needs to talk about his emotions with people, but, like, he doesn't. And the only person he would talk to is Abria or Cerealia, and he doesn't want to talk to his sister about stuff. He just has hard times opening up. He needs to talk about his emotions. He needs to. And then he has this whole misconception that she'll fall in love with Devry. Cerealia will fall in love with Devry. And because that's what he hopes will happen. And then when it looks like it's gonna happen, he gets super angry and jealous about it. I'm like, okay. Like, it's understandable because, like, she's the love of his life, but also, he did this to himself. Like, you did this to yourself, sweetheart. This was your fault. He's still really protective of her. He would literally destroy the world for her, and would destroy the world to keep her safe. He actually basically says that. He went through a lot in this book, too. A whole lot of pain. He has a lot of problems, which, honestly, he put himself into the middle of these problems. He's very obsessed with finding the Harvester, because, you know, he's part of the group of people who tried to kill Cerealia. Like, obsessed with it. Literally obsessed with it. And then also, he stopped looking for Hero, whom he was very much trying to find in the last book, but, like, just stops. Like, they find Cerealia, and they just stop trying to look for him. Hero's also Cerelia's older brother. It's kind of weird, honestly. Like, you got what you needed to finish the ritual, then you just stop looking for the person you were looking for? Like, okay. Something else is going on. I don't know. I still don't know why he stopped looking for him for Hero. I don't know. Bria next. So, she knows that Cass loves Aurelia. She also knows that it's hurting him to be away from her and that he needs her. So, she's constantly pressuring Cass to go be with Aurelia. But he doesn't listen to her. She also likes Aurelia herself. She comes up with she and Syl come up with a plan together to get Cass to go be with Aurelia. Does it work? So Syl, he sees how much Cass is struggling as being king and not being with the love of his life. I'm going to keep calling her the love of his life, because that's basically what he calls her. I also don't want to say her name. I still don't know if I'm saying it right. And then, of course, he works with Abria to get Cass to fight for his love. Syl is also pretty hilarious. Now to Enze. He is so loyal to Aurelia. He chooses to stay with her when she goes to Mentoral, which means he gets demoted in the process. So he could have, because since she's not a royal anymore, he doesn't need to watch her, but he stays. And he knows that he can't keep her from doing the crazy life-threatening things she gets herself into. But honestly, he's probably the only one who can somewhat save her. And he lets her do these life-threatening things half the time, which I think is hilarious. He also hates it, but he lets her do it, because one way or another, she's going to do it. He would do anything for her, and also, Aurelia trusts him completely. Like, she tells him something that she shouldn't tell anybody else. But she tells him because of how much she trusts him. And she doesn't command him around to do anything. He gives him choices. So I think that's part of the reason why he stays. But also I think he just likes her. Now to Devery. This man. He likes to use his emotional manipulation on her a lot. And he does it to get her to tell him things. Like, when she's keeping things inside, he uses it so she'll open up to him. And he doesn't tell her. And he's like, oh no, I'm just trying to, like, I don't remember what he says, but like, he lies. And he just uses it. I'm like, that's not what a good person does. But he's so nice and wants to protect her and wants to help her. And I don't know what to think. Because, like, Aurelia likes him and thinks she can trust him, but so many other things say that she can't trust him. So I don't trust him yet. Like, I'll be that. She can be maybe naive, maybe not naive, who really knows. And honestly, I especially don't trust his parents, so like, because of that, I don't trust him. Well, I more don't trust his father, but I don't trust him. Also, his father is Desmond. If you all want to know, I don't actually remember his mother's name, but I know his father's name. He also says that his father isn't bad, but okay. Like, okay. Now to the Harvester. So he's really good at finding lost artifacts. Like, that's what he does. That's what people pay him to do. And he's working with the red herring. I'm not really sure about that, but also sure about, I don't know. Nobody knows his real identity. And he has somewhat of an obsession with Aurelia. I wouldn't call it an obsession, but he's there. Not a lot, but a lot to be noticeable. Cass thinks it's because he wants to kill her, but honestly, I think differently. I think there's something else going on here. Okay, the spoilers now. Spoilers. I like how I have a different, like, way to go into the spoilers each time. Anyways, before writing this section, I went on a whole rant about Devery, which, you know, you heard me. And I kind of forgot, some of the stuff that I was going to talk about here in this section. So, yeah. I think I got at least some of the things I was going to talk about. Anyways, let's start off with the villains here. Ugh, sorry, jacket's itchy. The villains, starting off. So, Desmond, Devery's father, is definitely evil. He's hiding something from her. And yet, he's hiding something from Soralia. And there's no connection to the red herring yet. But I think he's working with the red herring. I think so. Also, he helps Kalia, Kali, whatever her name is, the one who loves power and is engaged to Casimir. So he helps her try to kill Soralia. Man's evil. Try to kill her. Doesn't actually like her. Devery still... I don't know about Devery. Anyways. It doesn't work, though, the whole, like, trying to kill her. Because the Harvester comes to save her. The Harvester saves her, like, twice. What? No. He comes to save her. Also, we learn who the red herring is. And I'll say this about him. He's closer to Casimir than I thought he would be. And also, that was when I was earlier in this video, when I was like, oh, I should have known, I was talking about this. I should have known, or I should have thought, but I was so, like, caught up in, like, one thing that I decided not to think about other things. Short-sighted. Gosh darn it. To Soralia. So, we're going to talk about our second prodigy, because you know that since she's first Sorsette, she has a second prodigy, and she feared she was never going to have one because her ancestors, some of them, never had a second prodigy. And now, when I heard about this, and guess who told her this actually? It was Kali. Still don't know how to say that girl's name. Of course she's gonna. But I was thinking, I was like, well, based on other fantasy books, one that I've mentioned today in this video, this power isn't a power that should be told to other people that you have. So, can you guess what it is? Also, I called it I called it, first off, if you couldn't tell. So, her second prodigy is mind reading. Like, I'm not completely sure of all of the, like, things about it and stuff, because right now she has to touch people to mind read them, to be able to read their minds. But, like, I called it. I knew it. I was like, she's gonna have mind reading. Blah, 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 blah. This is blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. I was wrong about one thing, but that's okay. But I knew it. I knew it was going to be mind reading. Also, it was kind of stated at one point, but I knew it before that. At least I was hoping before that. I can't say I knew it, because I was just hoping that it would be mind reading. Now we get to one of my favorites. So, you remember when I said we learn who somebody is? That wasn't about the red herring, that was about somebody else. We learn who the Harvester is. And I called it. I knew it was going to be him. So much time was spent on one character, and then when he talks to Soralia for the first time, he tells her to prove that she was a Chalamet. The Chalamets are her biological family. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not. I probably did. I think I did. I have a slight memory that I did. That was like 10-15 minutes ago. Why have I already forgotten? Anyways, he also starts to protect her in this book. So like I was like I have, ever since the harvester was said and we don't know who it is, I have been going with this person. Like I've been like, this, it's gonna be him, this is who it's gonna be. And so I knew it. So the harvester is Hero. I knew it. It's Hero. I knew it. If you couldn't tell, I knew it. I knew Hero was gonna be the harvester. I think that's his name. Oh my gosh, I'm doing it again. I really should have looked up who the name was. I think it's Hero. At least that's how I've been reading it. I could be wrong. I'm really good at reading correctly. Anyways, let's talk about that ending. Actually, I don't really have a lot to say about the ending because it gives too much away. But anyways, Hero, so he takes her somewhere because he found this artifact that can allow him to go places, like teleport. So he takes Soralia to this place that isn't Cressier or Ossunday, and that's how it ends. We don't know where he took her. So my brain goes automatically to the worst place, which is Black Scar, which is where literally all the monsters and where Glazer is. Like, please don't tell me she's there. Also, Casimir was going to save her, but he was going to be too late. Just needed to listen and he didn't listen. Also, like, if I was him... Okay, so, wait, so, Kalia, hold up 1 second. 1 year I touched something. So Casimir, not Casimir, so I'm gonna do that every time I try to say her name. But she challenges Soralia to a match in the Duels of Champions, and well, Soralia's not, she's not ready for that. So this is the way for Kali to kill Soralia. Doesn't work because the harvester comes and saves her. This is also what I was talking about earlier in the spoilers. So he goes... It's so loud that my voice is really loud right now. And Casimir is super angry at this, right? And honestly, if I were him, I would have ended my engagement with her because he tried to kill the love of his life. She tried to kill Soralia. Oh gosh. But he doesn't. He just tells her not to do it again and stuff and just yells at her, and I was like, I really think he regrets that now. Cause also I'm just gonna end it there. So yeah, that was it. Very long, lot to talk about, which is basically me just complaining about people. That's how much, when I complain about a book, that's how much I love a book. I've looked over at my duck so many times, just wanted to hit it. Yeah. Anyways, good book. I will read the third one if I have it. And then I will silently cry after I read it because I will have to wait for the next book to come. Because I'll have to wait for the next book to come out. Anyways, this is gonna be a long video, I know. Thank you for listening or watching. Both. Thank you for Thank you. And have a good. Actually, wait. Thank you, and watch my next one, please. Watch all the other ones too, please. Por favor. This is probably gonna weirdly be my best one because I'm very into this book, and also I don't have a headache, so yeah. But anyways, thank you, and have a good rest of your day, night, week, month, year, life. So yes, have a good rest of your everything, and bye-bye.